FTX was its own regulator, its own market maker, its own exchange, the issuer, right? All at the same time. This is such a and the hedge fund. So there's like $4 billion of that, and they went and they lost half of that. That was part of the reason that Voyager and BlockFi going bankrupt, and the reason that Sam wanted to bail them out is he didn't want to actually have the loans called, right? He was actually trying to buy BlockFi and buy Voyager with FTX equity.
Michael Saylor is a prominent entrepreneur and business executive who is known for his work in the technology industry. He is the founder and CEO of MicroStrategy, a leading business intelligence and mobile software company, and has been a vocal advocate for the adoption of Bitcoin as a strategic investment. Saylor has been a pioneer in the use of Bitcoin as a corporate treasury asset and has been instrumental in helping to drive its mainstream adoption. He has been a frequent speaker on the topic and has written extensively about the potential of Bitcoin to revolutionize the financial industry. With his expertise in technology and finance, Saylor has become a respected thought leader in the Bitcoin community and is often sought out for his insights on the future of the digital currency. His work has helped to raise awareness about the potential of Bitcoin and has helped to shape the conversation around its use as a viable investment option. Today, Saylor, in the PBD podcast, episode 212, reveals how Sam Bankman-Fried managed to fool everyone for so long. He will reveal how SBF crafted this scheme and why did it work in the first place. Before we jump to the clip, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the video. To see more crypto-related news and updates, now sit back, relax, and let's see what Saylor has to say.
You know, the Bitcoin community would say, you know, there's something ethically broken about being able to issue your own unregistered security, right? They call it committing the sin of shitcoinery.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So Sam and most of the people in the crypto world were always guilty of the sin of shitcoinery, or pumping and promoting unregistered securities. And that was obvious. I think, that was obvious to the chair of the SEC, to most politicians, right? The phrase that pops up over and over again is the vast majority of all crypto tokens are unregistered securities. But I think the diabolical twist in the FTX story that none of us saw coming, but it is particularly diabolical. So Sam creates, $8 billion worth of air token with SRM and FTT. Then he issues himself locked token, secret locked token, marks it up on his balance sheet by another $4 to $8 billion and calls it $16 billion worth of collateral. Okay. Then he goes shopping for a bank to give him a loan against this. Well, if I took $1 billion of Apple stock and I went to a legit bank, Bank of America, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, let's say I got $1 billion of Apple stock, they would say, well, we will give you collateral value for up to the amount you have or 5% of the daily trading liquidity on a legitimate regulated exchange. So if you show me a security that trades $1 billion a day and you have $1 billion of it, I might give you $50 million of collateral value. And that means you could borrow $25 million against it at 50% loan to value, but I'm going to margin call you if it moves a tick. So it means, practically speaking, $1 billion of that legit security is probably going to give you $10 million worth of a loan.
On $1 billion.
On $1 billion.
That's 1%.
Okay, right? Because the gating factor is what's 5% of the trading liquidity of that token or that asset? Because if I have to dump that thing in the market, I want to sell the entire position without moving the price.
Sure.
Okay, so that's the traditional world onshore. What Sam did was generated $14 to $16 billion worth of Solana, FTT, Serum, and then he went shopping for a bank to give him a loan. But he didn't want, you wouldn't get a loan from Goldman Sachs on it. No one's going to borrow you money, at least no non-crypto company. So what he did was he went to himself. He runs a bank called FTX. He applied for a loan from himself. He granted himself the loan.
He applied for a loan from himself.
Well,
right?
secretly applied. He didn't tell anybody, but when they say, well, Alameda had a margin account and the margin position was slightly bigger than I thought, what he means is, oh yeah, they pledged a few $1 billion of air token, gave themselves a $10 billion loan, and they extracted, even if he had pledged $15 billion worth of air token, Giving yourself a $10 billion loan means that you gave yourself about 100x the collateral value you would have got on a regulated exchange onshore. So what he did was, in essence, extract $10 billion of real stuff, dollars, Bitcoin, saleable assets, and he pledged $10 billion worth of air token stuff. And of course, it's a double diabolical thing. Here's the problem. So I create a token, I have 300 million tokens, and then I basically trade it with myself. Like I give it to you and you work for me and you give it back to me. Then I lean on it, so I lever it up 10 to 1. You know, on FTX, you could lever it 20 to 1. Then I borrow your money, you're a depositor, so I take your money, you have $10 million, I lever it up 20 to 1, I have $200 million, I buy my own token, I drive my token up by $5, $5 times 300 million makes me 1.5 billion in collateral. I post the collateral, and then I withdraw $1 billion of, 100,000 people's money. I put it in Alameda, and then Alameda gives a $3.5 billion loan to Sam, right? He gave $3.3 billion to either himself or his personal family holding company. So here's the diabolical twist. I didn't just generate $10 billion of an unregistered security to dump it on the unsuspecting retail. That would take me 500 trading days, dumping 20 million a day, right? He didn't do that. What he did is he generated $10 billion in unregistered security and then just borrowed $10 billion secretly from his depositors and then went and gambled it, traded it, spent it, lost it.
How?
And that is it's particularly impressive. The Bitcoin maximalist would say that the problem in crypto is greed, arrogance, and foolishness. Okay, anybody that's investing in it is either greedy, arrogant, or foolish. So there's three constituencies that got taken for billions of dollars here. The VC investors put $2 billion into an offshore exchange. The exchange, just to be clear, was unethical and illegal from the very beginning. It's illegal to do what they did in the U.S. and it's unethical if you think I'm front-running my customers, issuing a token, manipulating the price of the token, dumping it on them.
If you did that in stocks, you're going to jail if you front-run.
It's absolutely illegal. Yeah. Right? FTX was its own regulator, its own market maker, its own exchange, the issuer. Right, all at the same time. This is such a and the hedge fund, too much conflict of interest. So, but the three constituencies are the VC that put the $2 billion into FTX. They were supporting basically an offshore, unregulated casino, running in opaque fashion, account of the interest of its own customers. They didn't ask for a board seat. They didn't do due diligence. They were chasing what they thought was insane gains, right? FTX is showing a company that goes from 50 million in revenue to 500 million in revenue to $1 billion in revenue, and they thought they just had the next great thing. So, Sam lies that any con, right, is like, I think I'm getting a deal that's too good to be true, and the con man is lying to me. We're all lying to each other, and so that's the first $2 billion goes down the drain. There's another $4 billion or something like that in just loans made by, crypto industry. I think Alameda borrowed hundreds of millions and billions of dollars from Genesis, from Three Arrows, from Voyager, from Celsius, from, BlockFi, etc. So it's like if you start with this fiction that FTT is a real thing. If I create, again, like yo-yo token and I manipulate the price up to $10 billion by trading 2% of the float, if you think it's a real thing and I act like it's a real thing, then I pledge it as collateral and you give me real stuff for an air thing. And so there's like $4 billion of that, and they went and they lost half of that. That was part of the reason that Voyager and BlockFi going bankrupt, and the reason that Sam wanted to bail them out is he didn't want to actually have the loans called, right? He was actually trying to buy BlockFi and buy Voyager with FTX equity, which of course is fraudulent and worth nothing. But if I borrowed $1 billion from a company and they want the money back, and I can simply give them $1 billion of equity, take over the company, and not pay the loan back, I can roll the entire fraud forward. So that's the second. The third is, this is also diabolical. FTX said, we're built by traders for traders, and Sam bragged that they only charge like 3 basis points trading fee, and he was 30 times cheaper than Coinbase or much cheaper than Binance. So he's stealing customers off of the other crypto exchanges by, in essence, offering near free trading. He's not trying to make money off the trading. He's trying to actually get the assets on his platform, because once he had the assets on his platform, he basically used FTX like his own personal piggy bank.
And that's it for today. If you want to see the full interview with Michael Saylor, check the link in the description below. Please leave your thoughts down in the comment section. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more crypto content. This was Investalence, and we'll see you in another video.